Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to another Logging from Scratch episode. Last time we were playing, we had just started kind of piling up all the stuff we had, and we went through and we just chopped down every single last birch tree that we could see. So up in the top right corner of the screen, you can see I've added now the project that we're working on, and with the reward and all that stuff. This is mostly just for me so I can keep track, because sometimes I forget what my plan was. So we have our current money, current debt, the project we're currently doing, and the reward once the job is complete. So we got to keep track of every payment that we make, and we have to take 50% off of that payment. So that should be pretty fun. So I think to get things rolling here, I'm just going to hop in our Volvo, and yeah, we'll start sorting out some of the wood that we had here. This thing handles so differently than some of the other equipment. It's crazy. Just crazy. Okay, so we're still pretty close to this one pile behind me, so I think I'm going to keep piling to that one with this closer stuff, and then we'll have to start a new kind of spot down behind us there. Take great use of our locking straps. Alright, so let's keep piling into this spot. I was almost thinking we should pay a contractor to rent that low bed and bring it out here, because I can actually lock strap stuff to that low bed. I can't quite on this trailer, but I guess if I take it slow, this one should be fine too. We'll see. Oh, we will definitely see. So what I'm trying to do is just kind of pile everything close to sort of a specific area so that we can come along with the truck and trailer and just load it up. But my fear is if I bring that truck and trailer up here and I get a load on, it's probably going to all fall off. So we gotta be gentle with that. And because this is a new episode, we've got to pay a little bit of our debt off here too. So let's tab over to this guy. So we're going to take 10,000, and now we're going to change this to 79. I like to drop at least $1,000 per episode on the loan, which I think is pretty fair. And I'm not sure rhyme or reason why how much this is going to be worth, but I think we'll be probably pretty okay. I wouldn't say it's all the straightest pieces, but that's okay. We'll get them on there. Actually, you know, these are kind of weird looking, so I'm going to put them right here. They're kind of like tops, but not quite. I don't know. They're like the in-between stuff. I want the really heavy wood over here, just so it has its own kind of spot separate of that. But like I said, I think we'll get pretty good recovery on all the stuff that we did cut down. Again, we only get 50% of it, but that's just part of the deal, you know. Got to be fair. It is his woodlot, but I would like more. Maybe next time we'll get a better deal. Maybe next time we'll convince him to give us more. Whoop, there we go. There we go. Alright, let's bring this back over there. And then I think this will be the last pile that I'm going to put over in this side. And then I think we'll start a new spot over here, just 'cause it's easier to move around. And the more the merrier, right? Actually, this will probably be a interesting spot to get a picture here. Maybe? I don't know. I always grab random pictures as we're going just because it's good for it. Good for the gander. Okay, so let's build a new spot for loading over here so we're not tracking back so far. And there's a lot of stumps. Thank goodness we don't have to clean those up. So let's start one kind of in the middle over here. So let's grab all of this. Now, before we were sorting out the tops, but because there's so much wood down here, I'm not going to worry about sorting the tops just yet. It's a nice little project. It's a little time consuming, but I think it's a good little project. Make a little bit extra money. And then we'll see what kind of good things come after we get going here. And then as we get bigger, we can actually become a full-fledged logging company maybe. But money's a little tight right now, so we got to be careful with our dollars. So let's pile right here. Actually, I like this spot. It has a good feeling about it. And we're gonna grab little pieces out of this tree. And we'll just pile them up right here against this. Oops. I should probably crank up the tension on this thing a little bit. It's a little slow. But I guess, you know, it's probably good to have one that goes a little bit slower too for doing these small projects. It's not always about speed. Sometimes it's fun just to enjoy it. Don't have to get too crazy. I was, at this point I'm just coming up with topics of the day off the top of my head because I haven't got any ones in a while. But I did get one from one guy. I don't know if it's too controversial to talk about or not, but I think it's guns versus non-guns is what he suggested. So I'm assuming he's meaning owning guns versus not owning guns. I personally don't own any firearms myself. I came from a family that, like, my parents had lots of hunting rifles and stuff like that, and I used to have a shotgun a long time ago when I was a younger kid, but I wasn't like properly licensed for it or anything like that, so I ended up having to give it up when the laws got a little more strict as I got older. But we don't really have a lot of love for firearms in Canada, I think, as much as the States does. Not to say I don't like them. I think guns are sweet and they're always a fun time. I used to go out with the range with my friends, and I have one buddy who's got a whole arsenal of just crazy weapons. He's got every license. He's military or ex-military, so he's got a whole bunch of special restrictive licenses to own some pretty crazy guns. He actually has the the Barrett 50 cal, like the famous long-range sniper rifle that fires 50 caliber shells. He's got one of those. I've never actually fired it, but I've watched a video of him firing it, and it looks like it's glass breaking kind of thing. Pretty wild stuff. But it was pretty cool to see it. So on the topic of guns versus non-guns, I don't really care either way. Now, I mean, you could get really deep into this subject talking about, whether it's right or not to own firearms, or restrictive versus non-restrictive, or whatever you want. I'm of the belief that, if somebody wants to own a gun for their own protection, I think that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then, you get the other side of the world saying, oh, we should abolish all guns. That'll get rid of crazy people. And it's like, well, how's that working? We did that in Canada where they said they were going to take all the long arm rifles away and take all the handguns away. The way I look at it is if a criminal is planning on, doing some kind of a shooting or some kind of a horrible massacre-y event, finding a weapon's probably not the hardest thing to do, even if they're restricted. I bet it would be pretty easy for them to find one from, whatever these days, the dark web, Craigslist, a friend of a friend. Somebody always has a weapon somewhere that is not registered and nobody knows about. So I don't think it's really so much of a thing of banning firearms to stop criminals, but I don't know. It's a really tricky subject, I think, for a lot of people. I think it's good to have protection, from stuff. I'm a pretty confident hand-to-hand fighter kind of guy, so I don't really I'm not too scared of a personal attack kind of thing, but I understand, especially in sketchier parts of the world where especially females. I have lots of friends down in some really sketchy areas of Canada who own not firearms, but they own, protective devices like mace and tasers and, that kind of stuff. Batons, those foldable batons in their purses, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's a crazy world, man. It's a crazy world full of crazy people. So it's hard to really nail it down to what the best method would be. I'm sure we'd all like to believe we live in a world full of just roses and happiness and no problems, but the reality is we're all animals at the end of the day, and Everybody has a potential to be dangerous. I think 90% of safety comes from just awareness in general. You know, being aware of a situation you're getting yourself into, as opposed to just carrying a big gun. So if you can go into any situation, like if you see a group of really sketchy dudes down a dark alley swearing and fighting and stuff, maybe don't walk down that alley. Even if you have a shotgun, it's probably not the best idea because you're going to get into a conflict. But, you know, if you have no weapon at all, you can avoid the entire situation by just not going down there. So I think self-defense and safety comes down to more you being smart enough to realize a situation you should not be involved in, that you're not going to be, you know, in good shape after you go through. Like I said, I was a bouncer and doing security for 13 years, and I'm still doing security for some things, but I can say I've been in some of the most graphic, horrific, combative situations out of most human beings, I'd say. And I've seen some of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life doing this job. But I can tell you, out of maybe 100 combative situations, I would say 50 of them could have probably been solved by just people being smarter and staying out of the situation that they were in. You know, the whole turn the other cheek and walk away is not a joke. It's a serious thing to avoid getting hurt or putting yourself in a potentially dangerous situation. Just walk away. Don't be involved. And there is absolutely, when it comes to survival, I always laugh at people that say, oh, you know, somebody doesn't have the gonads to, he should have fought him, you know, he's just such a sissy, he ran away. And it's like, well, if the guy had a weapon or something like that, I'd say he's not a sissy. I would say he's a smart, survival, instinctual organism. I would say whoever he ran away from, who had a weapon, he was smart in getting out of that. I'm all about the preservation of your own life. So if running away solved the problem, that's not dumb. That's brilliant. You know, I always laugh at the people. You'll see those, store robberies, and everybody just stands around, and the guys are like, "Oh man, if I was in that situation, I would have just, I would have punched him and taken his weapon away, and then, been the hero." You know, in 90% of those situations, unless you're more heavily armed than the assailant, just let him take what he wants and get out. Why are people... it's probably movies and media, but why are people trying to be heroes? It's just not a smart idea. I mean, if I see someone else getting hurt, another human being innocently getting hurt, that's a different situation. I would step in and assist somebody who's being injured or threatened, to try to save their lives. I would be more about that than I would be trying to save property. All property is insured most of the time, and all property can be replaced. But humans cannot be replaced. You cannot be replaced. If someone's robbing, a store and they just want the money, just give them the money and walk away. Unless you're a police officer or some kind of heavily armed, trained security person that's meant to, take on those kind of situations, why just don't get involved? Like, people are so silly that way. I've seen a lot of situations where, like I said, if people would have just not got involved, they would probably not have gotten a horrible bodily injury or death. It's all stuff we had to learn when we were doing security. It's like, be there to help people, but if it's a situation you can't handle, don't get involved, because you're just going to make it worse, or you could make it someone else get hurt. It's like, so we kind of detoured. We detoured quite hard off the subject of guns versus non-guns, but I think weapons and self-defense kind of fall under the same kind of a topic in the end, because there's a lot of different scenarios that bring up both subjects. But yeah, do I think guns are bad? Not necessarily. I mean, they do have purpose, defense and hunting and all that kind of stuff. Do I think everybody needs a gun? Probably not. But I think that should be really the choice of the person. And I don't know. there's no easy answer, or else there would already be an answer for what needs to happen with gun control. I know in the States it's very important to keep weapons, right? Because it's part of your guys' First Amendment rights. And honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that. Everybody makes a big deal out of it, saying, you know, nobody needs a gun, nobody needs a gun. But there are probably people who just, you know, have never been put in situations where they feel they need one, or maybe they don't hunt, or maybe they... And that's fine. That's their choice not to own a weapon, but I don't think they should be really accosting people. It's the problems with things like, you know, school shootings and massacres and stuff like that, that really sets the tone for, oh, we need to get rid of firearms. And I don't think removing firearms is the answer. I think better health care, better mental health care, screenings and stuff like that is more important than, you know, just saying, oh, well, nobody gets any. It's the same with, like, the drug war, right? There's actual full-on countries that have legalization of some of the hardcore drugs and substances out there, and they get by just fine. So there's some really interesting stuff on that subject. That could be a whole nother topic of the day, though, talking about drug wars and whether the morality of things. I don't feel like getting into all that on this episode. I mean, we got to give ourselves a little bit of a spacer, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about weapons? Are you a firearms owner? Do you think everybody needs firearms? What do you think is what's the answer to getting a safe system for firearm owners? That's really the question. Who knows? It's a really testy subject with a lot of people, so it's interesting to hear other opinions. That's one thing I really like to hear is your guys' opinions on stuff. It's kind of fun because then I can sit here all day and tell you my opinion, but I always go back and I read your guys' comments and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. Or you guys give me different perspectives on stuff that I wasn't really thinking in that particular way. It's just, it's fun. Actually, I'm going to put this down and straighten this out a little bit. Whoops. Oh, gun. What happened there? One snuck away. I was going to kind of try to cradle this in the middle a little bit, but I don't know how well we can cradle when we can't lock. When there's no locking straps, you're playing a dangerous game with cradling. You can tell this trailer's lighter than my grapple, huh? We should be able to get all that in the middle there. I think this will be our first load to the mill from up here. And how much time? Well, we got enough time to probably trek this back to the mill. Let's just take this load like this, because I have a horrendous feeling this is going to be way too heavy for this truck. So let's see how it handles it. I can see it's already lifting the back end of the truck up a little there. Well, we'll see. All right, let's take this one for a spin, and let's see what happens. Actually, here, let's get... Sorry. If we have to run this episode a little bit later because of my photography skills, then so be it. There we go. I like that better. How about that? All right, so we're going to try to bring this to the mill and see what happens. Oh, I feel like we should straighten this out a little more here. Hold on. I wonder if I can just kind of bump this corner. There we go. Let's try that. How's that? That looks better. It's a little cross-eyed there, but that's okay. Now, I don't know. This truck's pretty... It's heavy-ish, but we're just going to take it real slow because I got a feeling these trees will go all over the place. Actually, I think I can auto-set my speed to, like, a low number. Whoa, easy here. Oh, I see. Oops. Ah. Hold on, I gotta drop my speed way down here. So let's set it down to something slow, like 15 kilometers an hour. How about that? Is 15 very fast? No, 15's a nice smooth speed. I actually like setting my my speed limit now. I wasn't a fan of it back in the day there, but now I actually really do like being able to set my speed so that my machine's not really, whether it's a machine or truck, but it's just so it's not getting completely out of control. That seems to be sitting on there quite nice, eh? Let's go around the corner here. All right, let's take our autopilot off. We can give her here now. I think we can give her. Let's look how wide that is. Thank God there's no more traffic on this road, because we'd probably take him out with that tire, or we'd have to drive in the ditch a bit. There we go. It is a bit of a trip, though, isn't it, to get it over there? I recently did some additions to the map. Now you see the trees kind of pop in at a distance a little bit more. I know it's not the oops, oh boy, let me stop. I know it's not the best looking in the world, but it oh, there we go. It's not the absolute best looking in the world, but it saves a whole bunch of performance issues that we were having, so it's nice, because we were having some dreadful performance problems. Okay, so we're just going to get this to the mill. We're not going to have quite enough time to unload it, but that's okay. We can get the unloading done on the next one. And remember, we only... Oh, God, can we slow down? And we only get 15% of this. So 15 kilometers an hour seems to be the nice, gentle speed to go. I wonder if we sped it up a little here. Well, that's 20. So 20 kilometers an hour is actually not bad, too. Just 120 is not great. So this thing actually should be okay for hauling the wood. As long as we take it easy and don't go too crazy, I think we'll be fine. Alright, so let's park this little bad boy right in here. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to... Oops, I'll turn that. Oops, jeez Louise. There we go. Okay, so when we get back, I'll unload that, see how much it's worth, take 50% of it, and then we can go back and just kind of keep hauling all that out of there. And should be good. So yeah, if you guys liked the episode, leave a like, leave a comment. Do not forget to subscribe. And if you're in the bush, don't forget to hug a tree. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.